This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
I'm Billy.
And I'm Installation00.
Why don't Installation00 tell us all about your channel?
I'm best known for my most detailed breakdown series, which is where I break down technology from the Halo universe to scrupulous levels of detail. Like we're talking insane, like the material properties of the titanium A armor of the battle plates. Like we're talking, atomic scale kind of levels of detail. I've been uploading for a fair amount of time now, and I've diversified a little bit of my content, and yeah, things are going well.
And then filling in for Will this week. We're glad to have Installation00, obviously. And then Billy over here is filling in for Will, who's been on hiatus for the last week and a half, 2 weeks now. He'll be back the following week from this. Billy, why don't you tell everybody about your channel?
So I make gaming videos where I try not to breathe in the mic that much, and that's gonna be the tagline the entire time I explain it.
Chocolate rain.
Days on Day was actually the inspiration to most of my older videos.
There you
Leans
go.
away from mic to breathe.
I love that.
But yeah, we started doing comics, and now we're doing a podcast for comic book and stuff like that. And hopefully soon you'll see us at all of your comic book conventions because it's going to be great. We're gonna
Right
have a
next
good
to
time.
Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
All right. But today is Throwback Thursday. All right. And we're going to be covering Halo Online, or more famously, the Eldewrito mod. Halo Online was originally released on the PC March 25th of 2015, but only in a closed beta in Russia, of all places. Halo Online takes place on Anvil, a secret UNSC space installation where both the Spartan 4 soldiers and the Sangheili elites train for combat in simulated war games with experimental weapons and armors. The project was canceled in August of 2016, but a leaked beta of the game was used and modified with a launcher dubbed Eldewrito that circumvented the region limitation and later added content and bug fixes to the game after the cancellation of the release. Microsoft has issued DMCA takedowns of this project multiple times over the years, although ultimately requesting that the Eldewrito team partner with them to release a classic Halo experience on the PC. 343 Industries said in a statement that the studio was humbled and inspired by the mod. In 2019, Microsoft announced that Halo Master Chief Collection would receive a Windows version. The development team behind Eldewrito claimed that they had hastened its development by giving Microsoft a kick in the pants due to its success and high player numbers. They also announced that they would be working with 343 Industries to help implement mod support. Despite this, they stated that Eldewrito would not be shutting down or ceasing development. So what we want to talk about today is we want to discuss the state of Halo on PC prior to the MCC release on PC. All right, so what was the last game on PC before the Master Chief Collection? Does anybody remember?
That was Halo 2 Vista, wasn't it?
Yep.
That's solid.
That's... Can you believe that? Halo 2 for Vista was the
That's
last...
scary.
Because you can't include the unofficial release of Halo Online, even though it is kind of a fully fledged release at this point with Eldewrito working on it.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. Vista, what is that, 07?
Yeah, Vista, yeah. Vista released 07, yeah.
That's
scary. That's scary. An official Halo game since 2007 on PC. That's misrepresenting a huge section of the gaming community.
And on Vista, no less.
Yeah.
Specifically Vista.
Yeah. Vista of all the platforms. I mean, Jesus.
I mean, that's... Whew. And then think about that. Since 2007 till 2019, no Halo releases.
2007, that was Halo 3?
Yep.
Halo 3 release, wasn't it? Yeah.
And everybody expected Halo 3 to be released a couple years after Halo 3 on Xbox 360, that it would go right to the PC, and it never did.
Wow.
Until now, hopefully, soon. That's crazy. I mean, that's like almost the hiatus for at least for PC, all right? Because we still got them on the Xbox One, you know. They were already out. But for a PC only player, the last Halo release 2007, that's like begging for Half-Life 3 now at this point, 12 years later. Hey, we finally got it. Master Chief Collection. Everything's coming to PC. Glorious moment.
Yeah, I'm loving the content that the other Halo YouTubers are uploading of the PC version of MCC, because there is a notable difference in frame rate and in sort of graphics fidelity. And for me as a content creator, just being able to see that kind of level of detail and try to get hold of content of that kind of level to put into the videos is really nice to see. And it's great to see that the PC gaming community is finally sort of being properly represented by Halo and actually having some content to jump in. I mean, I even heard murmurs. Am I mistaken? You guys can probably correct me. There was brief discussion about crossplay, or there was some sort of mechanics they were looking at tweaking to keep a crossplay a possibility on the table.
You talking
right
about
there or not?
Xbox versus PC?
Yeah,
I think that's still in the cards.
Yeah.
I'm pretty positive that with the Xbox Series X, that will be on the table.
I mean, that would be if that goes through and succeeds. I mean, they might even be using MCC as a test bed. If that goes through and works as well as I hope it does, then Halo Infinite, if that comes with that kind of pre-installed, Halo Infinite will be probably one of the biggest games in history, because it will hit multi-console but also be cross-playable. That'll be one of the biggest games in history. That'd be insane.
Yeah, no joke. So with Halo Online only releasing in Russia on a closed beta, right? That never saw the light of day except for Eldewrito, that team that brought it together. I love this video we have playing in the background.
It's John Cena.
So I want to talk about the legacy of Halo Online, the shutdown of a game after beta, and the non-release of the game overall. How often do we see that in the Halo franchise? I mean, I would say that might be the only instance I've seen in the Halo franchise where something was
so what I'm aware of. Yeah, but the very fact that 343 and Microsoft, although they shut it down, the fact that they extended an olive branch and said, "Hey guys, we appreciate what you've done. We want you to partner with us and bringing the Halo franchise, unique IP to the PC." It shows that Microsoft and 343 Industries aren't just in it for the money. They're not just in it for creating content that's going to generate some bucks. They want to see what the community do. They're creating Halo for the fans, and in this circumstance by the fans, and that's just a really awesome thing to see from a games developer perspective, that they actually appreciate fan creations in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest instance I've seen in the gaming industry recently, besides this one, was when they picked up the fan of Sonic who did Sonic Mania and said, "Hey, do this for us officially." Yeah, I'll do it. Like, of course, duh. All you gotta do is ask. Thanks, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Like,
who wouldn't?
It's amazing.
If I had the talent to make something Halo related, like proper in-game content, and Microsoft came to me and went, "Hey, can you do this for us full time?" I'd be like, "Yeah, obviously."
Right. Like if they approached you and said, "Hey,
you don't even
we want to do some new Vidocs. Can you help us?" You'd be like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I can totally help you with that. Yeah.
I think that's unfortunately a bygone of the Bungie era, but I could be wrong. 343 might do some new Vidocs. We'll see. That'd be a cool thing.
So. They were quite cool, yeah.
But I think it's unheard of in the Halo franchise to have a game be demoed like that. Other than there was that rumor of the Halo DS game that I finally found out what happened with that. Did you guys hear about that?
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
So a future guest of our show actually did a video on it. And I'm not going to give away... Well, I guess I could say it. RGT85 is planning to come on the show in the future. He did a video about the Halo PSP stuff. The Halo PSP. Forget I said that. Halo DS. The Halo DS thing that never happened. Okay. Originally, this developer actually took a first-person shooter game that was already made, skinned it Halo, and then tried to pitch it to Microsoft back when Halo 1 came out on the Xbox, and said, "Hey, we should put Halo on the DS." And I'm pretty sure, because if I was working for Bungie at the time, I'd have been like, "No." Because if you just look at it, the DS is not built for a first-person shooter. It's just not. And I would almost feel like that would muddy the waters. That's the only other instance I can tell you where like a demo surfaced and they showed video of it, and it never came to light in the Halo series. So
it sounds a little bit similar to I don't know if you guys are familiar with Gary's mod.
Yeah.
So
I think so.
There's a Halo variant of the Gary's mod. We actually ran one of my admins in my Discord server actually ran a server on Gary's mod with this Halo mod on top of it. It's sort of being able to create a game from another game with the skins from Halo. It seems relatively popular, I suppose, because all the majorly difficult and tedious and hard work is done ahead of time. But the fact that there's people out there, there's fans that take time out of their own lives to create these games is just it's awesome. The Halo community are apart from pretty much every other community I've come across for being able to contribute to the franchises as extensively as they do with Halo.
In this case, it was actually a major development studio that made DS first-person shooters. Like that was their sole, their only real gaming. Like they excelled at it, right?
Wow.
So what they were trying to do was pitch it to Microsoft so they could produce a Halo game for the DS. And I believe it was somebody that had previously been licensed by EA to make a actually good Call of Duty on the DS.
Wow.
So, I mean, good, right? I mean, you can only go so good with the DS and first-person shooters, but this was about as good as it gets with DS and first-person shooters.
The fact they tried is envious.
I just want to know how they all got together and that was their big plan. Like right at the beginning, they're like DS, Halo, like let's do it.
Anyway, so the other thing I wanted to talk about was the Eldewrito mod team, and the craziness. I mean, can you imagine sitting there and just breaking the code of what Microsoft put out for Halo Online and making it available to everybody like the Eldewrito team did? Can you imagine that?
Well, just for me, coming from a computer science qualification background, the amount of attention to detail you'd need to have to go through the code of a game, not just the game engine, the system behind the game, all of the fine code, to be able to find the ways to crack the code in order to make it available to the public like that, and to be able to host it on a server, on a platform. Yeah, the amount of attention is just I completely hats off to them. The level of attention is just ridiculous. That would absolutely burn me out.
Yeah, I completely agree. As somebody who's done hex editing for GBA games in the past, I can honestly say I cannot imagine going through code this extensive and reprogramming it to work for basically everybody. You know, taking away the I don't know if you know this, but I'm sure that Installation00 can either back me up or deny what I'm saying altogether. But when somebody region locks a game, that's like some kind of encryption only understood by the particular computers produced in the region or consoles produced in the region with which that is supposed to be served. And breaking that encryption is very difficult.
Yeah, lies. No, it's yeah. No,
spicy.
Yeah. It's literally it's fundamentally written into the firmware of the system, and to be able to find a workaround for that to make it available to everyone takes a level of dedication that I don't think I've seen in any other circumstance of like a fan creation. And well, you're only going to get that here with Halo, really, aren't you?
Most likely, I would guess. The only other community I've seen from a first-person shooter perspective with this much dedication, unless you include Black Mesa, is the people that do the Doom mods. There's so many Doom mods out there. Doom fan base is unstoppable. You know, it's like Halo. They're unstoppable. It's insane. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. You guys have any closing thoughts on this?
They just did an incredible job. I mean, I'm again, it's really cool to see this because like a lot of the like Eldewrito, before you guys talked about this and before you sent it to me, Chris, like I've never even looked into it before, so this is really interesting.
All credit to Will. He's the one that gave me this idea.
Thank you, Will. I miss you, buddy. One day.
Hold on.
Day
Let me
I'll see
pull
you.
up his lovely face for everybody.
One day we'll see you again, buddy.
Installation00. Go ahead. You got anything?
Yeah. The fact that it got as widespread as fast as it did showed 343 Industries and Microsoft clearly that there was a huge PC fan base for the Halo games that were being unsatisfied effectively. So although they were received a cease and desist, they were kind of partnered at the same time, and it did kind of encourage or somewhat force the hand of 343 and Microsoft to produce Halo games for the PC platform again, and that's turning a frown upside down as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
Although the Eldewrito kind of is somewhat died, it's still it led us to the eventuality that we find ourselves in now, where the MCC has come into PC and there's clear plans in the pipework to release Infinite on PC at the same time that it releases on the Xbox platform. So props to them, absolutely.
And I think somebody might be working on a campaign, or maybe have restored the campaign for it. So that'd be really cool to see as well. Yeah, right here, Halo 3 PC campaign, Eldewrito. Yeah, I remember hearing that there's some kind of a campaign associated with this game. So that's pretty neat that they were able to do something with that.
That's cool in and of itself, to be able to bring Halo 3 finally to PC. That's awesome.
It's not the Halo 3 campaign. It's its own Halo Online. It's as much small. Yeah, that's what I remember reading this. It's like its own level, a couple levels that were specifically made for Halo Online. I don't know if the campaign was ever completed, but I thought I remembered reading that there's this. It's got its own campaign because you're on the UNSC training planet where they train elites, the St. Halo elites, and the UNSC soldiers. So there's some kind of a campaign associated with that they had planned to release, and I think they were trying to restore that as well.
Wow.
So there should be some lore there, I would think.
Yeah. There's some lore for me to dive into. That's
there
cool.
You go. So yeah, definitely go look into it more yourself. But
I will. As
always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Billy Not Will.
And I'm Installation00.
And we will see you
on the next CHRILLCAST.